Today we journey into the heart of Nigerian political theatre, the Federal Capital Territory, where three stories reveal the poles, priority and paradoxes of leadership in our time. First, the ruling party closes ranks as APC governors, led by the governor of Imo State, unanimously endorsed President Bola Ahmed Tinubu as the party's sole candidate for the 2027 elections. A move held by some as strategic unity and questioned by others as premature coronation. Then we took to the streets of Abuja, where Senator Ali Ndume proposed a radical shift, a creation of IDP-style camp for beggars, aiming to replace arrest with rehabilitation. But FCT Minister Nyesom Wike counters with a dose of realism. The capacity is lacking and some may return to streets regardless. And finally, in an unexpected moment of bipartisan accord, Senator Ireti Kingibe, the voice of the FCT in the Red Chamber, publicly praised Minister Wike's 1.78 trillion naira budget, urging the senator to pass it unedited and unopposed. These are not just isolated headlines. They are signposts of a nation negotiating between power and people, ambition and accountability. Stay with us. I am Ibrahim Umarwasi. This is Connecting the Dots. Welcome, viewers. Our story today starts with a development that may shape the destiny of Nigeria's democratic journey. The Progressive Governors Forum, under the leadership of the governor of Imo State, has unanimously endorsed President Bola Ahmed Tinubu as the All Progressive Congress sole presidential candidate for the 2027 general elections.
Get to her destination faster in prosperity. We acknowledge the resolution of these governors that the president should be used and be adopted as our flag bearer for 2027 presidential election for his second term in office. That the governors produced by All Progressive Congress are hereby charged to take responsibility to market all federal government policies, occupy the political space in their domains, and take responsibility for winning all elections in their states come 2027. It is therefore my humble prayer, with total humility to Almighty God, to move that this August Assembly adopt and concur the position of progressive governors, that Mr. President carries our flag 2027 and governors take responsibility for delivering this mandate.
This decisive motion was seconded with favor by the governor of Kaduna State, Uba Sani, who described the endorsement as a reward for, and I quote, President Tinubu's unwavering commitment to national transformation.
Your Excellency, Mr. President, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, Your Excellency, the Vice President, Senator Kashin Shettima, permit me to stand on the well-established protocol. My name is Senator Obasani, Governor of Kaduna State, Coordinating Governor of the Northwest APC, Vice Chairman of Progressive Governors Forum. I rise to second the motion as ably moved by the Chairman of Progressive Governors Forum, the Governor of Imo State, His Excellency Hope Uzodinma, that this August gathering pass a vote of confidence on our able and amiable President, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, as a sole candidate of APC come 2027 general election. I so second, Mr. President. Thank you very much.
For many in the APC, this is a moment of unity, a consolidation of political will, a signal that the house is in order.
So it is not really, it's very right, it's right. Everything is said, we accept. But how can we ensure that that resolution has the force of law? the Constitution gives the power to us. So let me invite my brother, Right Honorable Speaker Tajuddin Abbas. Please step forward. Deputy Speaker, Deputy Senate President, and the major principal officers of the National Assembly. It's your voice that Nigerians are waiting for. If this president has done well, is it not all that will say so? If he has not done well, is it not all that will give him notice of impeachment? We are not giving him notice of impeachment. We are giving him notice that it was difficult for you in 2023. But in 2027, I see everything turning around. I see everything turning around. The number of states that are coming to join you. As I was leaving, one senator was dragging my dress today. He said, please take me there. I said, you can't come now. And he is a Labour senator. I don't want to mention his name, but just imagine. He's a Labour senator. He said, please, I told you since now I would have joined you. What do I do? I said, wait outside. Is it my car outside there? So, in view of the political sagacity of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, in view of the fact that despite very difficult times, he has been able to set Nigeria on a path of growth, confirmed by the International Monetary Fund. In view of the fact that Nigerians are grassroots people, are very excited. In view of the fact that even the members of the National Assembly and senators said they have never had it this good. The leadership of the House of Reps should join me. I want all the members of the National Assembly of the APC extraction to stand up wherever they are. I want the single senators to stand up where they are. And you will re-echo what I'm going to say. Those who love you will also join. I want to move, and let it be moved, that not only will President Bola Ahmed Tinubu be a sole candidate for the presidency in 2027, but he will also be a sole candidate for the whole Nigerian population, because all other political parties have been torn into shreds. I went to my state, and I saw the umbrella, the PDP, it has over 100 holes. And very soon you will hear, I'm not the one to break the news, but I know the national chairman has already broken the news, that everything in the South-South has collapsed for you. And that is the same thing that is happening in the nation. Nigerians are saying that because you have done a difficult job well, that it is time for us to reward you by sending you back to the presidency for a second term in office. I move, therefore, as the Senate President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, that Mr. President return, one, as a candidate of the APC unopposed, and secondly, as the next president for a second term.
But for others, observers, citizens, students of democracy, this endorsement sparks a different question. Is this the expression of party consensus or the extinguishing of internal contestation? Let us be clear. President Tinubu is a seasoned political operator. His journey from the trenches of pro-democracy activism to the pinnacle of power has been nothing short of remarkable. But democracy, real democracy, does not rest on reverence. It thrives on renewal. By announcing a sole candidate 2 years before the ballot, the ruling party risked choking the life out of its own democratic lawn. Where is the space for debate, for fresh ideas, for the young lions who may wish to roar? The danger, my friends, it is not just in who leads the nation, but in how we choose that leader. A coronation may be convenience, but it is not democracy. As 2027 approaches, may we not forget, leadership is not a birthright, it is a trust. Aim in the crucible of competition and renewed in the marketplace of ideas. May the watchmen not sleep, may the people not slumber. Next in our line of story is the new proposal from the Senate that has ignited both hope and hesitation. Senator Ali Ndume, representing Borno South, has proposed the establishment of an internally displaced person IDP camp in the Federal Capital Territory, not for victims of conflict this time, but for beggars.
Lastly, FCT, are you with me? is about the indigent or the displaced persons roaming in Abuja. It is not enough as Nigerians driving them, arresting them. What you need to do is to do what the Kano state government did as far back as in the 70s. That is picking the indigents, if you know, and you have a camp where you can feed and train them so that they will be off the street. If you have something like that already, that's fine. But it's very important because before somebody comes to the street to beg, it means he has nothing to eat. So if you can have a camp that will provide them such facilities, train them, and then take them off the streets through that transitional method, is better.
His vision, a center where the vulnerable are not harassed or arrested, but trained, fed, and given a chance to rise. Inspired by similar programs in Kano and other northern states, Ndume's proposition calls for compassion over criminalization. A pivot from punishment to rehabilitation. He argues that rounding up beggars does not solve the crisis of poverty. It merely hides the symptom while ignoring the disease. But not everyone agrees. Minister Wesam Wiki, the FCT political healthman, responded swiftly.
Chairman, my brother Senator Ndume talk about indigenous. Not indigenous, what happened in this is federal capital territory. It's not like a state per state. It's not like a state per state. You've got this federal capital territory. The way Kano, the way Rivers, the way Sokoto, the way Ondo will not be the same way that will happen in the FCT. Those you are talking about, they are not indigenous. They are not indigenous. People come from everywhere to just take over the whole of FCT. And you are saying that because we should that people, if they have work, it's not correct. That those who believe that they will continue to beg. That is the truth of the matter. And we'll tell ourselves the simple truth. As a city like this, with the federal capital territory, where you have all the international bodies where they reside, it will be difficult for you to follow that kind of pattern. And we don't want for us to say, let's keep them social areas and then train them for this job and that. The FCT cannot handle that. We cannot handle that and let the truth be told.
He said the territory lacks the capacity, logistical and financial, to manage such a program. More critically, he noted that even with training and food, some beggars might simply return to the streets. And here lies the philosophical crossroad of governance. Do we judge the poor by their choices, or do we first ask what choices they truly have? Senator Ndume calls for compassion. Minister Wiki points to realism. But the Nigerian on the streets, the one with no home, no plates, and no hope, watches from the sidewalk, wondering who among the powerful will remember his humanity. This is not just a debate about beggars. It is a reflection of the soul of our nation, whether we choose to rehabilitate the fallen or simply remove them from sight. Amidst that, the senator representing the Federal Capital Territory, Ireti Kingibe, has thrown her full support behind the 1.78 trillion naira budget proposal submitted by the FCT administration, a budget spearheaded by Minister Wesam Wiki.
I, as the senator representing the Federal Capital Territory, I want to also commend the minister. Let me speak. It's a well-presented budget. Budget is high, but I would, and I ask my colleagues to pass the budget, but I also think that some issues should be discussed with the minister in camera. For one thing, IDPs need to be, there's so many, there are details that the people of FCT or the representative of FCT should discuss with, but I asked my colleagues that they should pass the budget as is.
It is not every day that a senator from the opposition praises an appointee of the ruling administration, let alone urges the Senate to pass an appropriation bill without amendment. But in the eyes of Senator Kingibe, Minister Wike's handling of the FCT's fiscal strategy appears to transcend partisan boundaries, at least for now. Still, as the figures are debated and the headline glow with bipartisan harmony, the citizens of the capital, from Garki to Gwagwalada, will be watching to see if the numbers on paper translate into infrastructure, inclusion, and impact on the ground. Budgets are not just numbers, they are moral documents, declaration of who we have to invest in and who we choose to forget. As we await the Senate final vote, may the spirit of service rise above the sense of politics. And as always, we ask, in the capital of Africa's most populous nation, is there room for the least of us? And so, from the corridors of party consensus to the pavement where the voiceless beg for dignity, and into the chambers where trillions are debated, we witness once again that politics is not merely about power, but about people it serves or forgets. The APC's early endorsement of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu reminds us of the delicate line between unity and exclusion. Senator Ndume's call to rehabilitate beggars and Minister Wike's candid realism reveal the ongoing tension between vision and capacity. And Senator Ereti Kingibe's rare gesture of bipartisan support shows that sometimes governance can rise above partisanship, if only for a moment. But let us remember, a nation is not built in press briefing or parliamentary applause. It is built in quiet places, in the slums, in the shelters, in the hearts of those whose names are never mentioned in the budgets. As the powerful take their position for 2027 and as plans are drawn for those on the margins, may we never forget the true strength of a nation lies not in who governs it, but in how it treats its weakest. So stay awake, stay aware, and most importantly, stay united. This is Connecting the Dot. This is the voice of a new Africa. I remain your brother, Ibrahim Omarwasi. Let the dots begin to connect. Until next time.